Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Jerry Hassan. I'm the regional manager along with Susan Smith for Every Child Achieves, the Legal Shield and Identity Theft Protection programs that are your voluntary benefits. First, let me start by telling you a little bit about our company. Legal Shield actually has been in business now for over 50 years. We're in all 50 states. In other words, this is a nationwide benefit that gives you access to provider law firms in all 50 states. Now, most of the time, people will say, why would I need something like this? I'm not Oprah Winfrey doing billion-dollar deals, and I'm not a criminal. I don't rob banks for a living. Why would I need a big, powerful law firm on retainer? Well, let me ask you a question. Have any of you ever signed a contract or a document? Of course, you all have. I mean, you bought a car, you leased an apartment, maybe you've even purchased a home. Now, did you have an attorney review that document before you signed it? You might be shaking your head no, but actually you did, just not your attorney. In other words, when you buy a car, the dealership has their law firm prepare that contract to protect them. What's in the fine print that might be hurting you? Have any of you ever had a landlord or tenant issue? Of course, we all have. When you had that first apartment and you moved out, didn't the landlord always make up an excuse to keep your security deposit? Have you ever been overcharged or treated unfairly? Doesn't that happen a little too often? But when it's a $200 or $300 dispute, does it make sense to hire a $400 an hour attorney to get protection? How many of you have ever received a traffic ticket? Come on, be honest. How many of you deserved one on the way to work today? How cool would it be to have access to a network of provider law firms all over the country that'll fight traffic tickets for you to help keep those points off your record and the fines down, and you don't even have to pay for their gas? And how many of you have a current will or need to get your will prepared? I mean, at $500 to $1,000 per will, who can afford to get a will done these days? How'd you like to have a powerful law firm with estate attorneys giving you unlimited estate planning, and then they'll create a will for you at no cost? How many of you have ever had a real estate transaction? Now we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in contracts and legal issues. Have you ever been a victim of identity theft or been concerned about a data breach with a company that has your private information and their computers have been hacked? How many of you have ever simply been in a situation where having the advice of an attorney would have been helpful, but again, at $400 or $500 an hour, you don't even think of picking up the phone and calling an attorney. It gets priced right out of your consciousness. Well, when you're a Legal Shield member, you're going to have an app. And when you tap that app, you'll be connected to the biggest, baddest law firm in each state. Here in California, our provider law firm is Parker Stanberry. They've been around since 1927. They have 5 offices throughout the state with over 100 attorneys covering every specialty of the law. In fact, they're the law firm for Rite Aid, the City of Orange, LA Dodgers. Allstate Insurance happens to be their second largest client. Allstate pays them a $20,000 a month retainer. Well, guess who their largest client is? Well, it's you. You know, just compared to Allstate's $20,000 a month, Legal Shield pays Parker Stanberry, just our California provider law firm, $1.8 million a month. So when you need an attorney to fight a traffic ticket or to prepare your will or to defend you if you're being sued, you might only be paying 50 cents a day for this membership, but you're going to be treated like a $1.8 million a month client. So when you need an attorney, you tap the app, you'll be connected to the provider law firm in your home state. They're going to want to know what it's about because the law is highly specialized. In other words, if you're having a tax question or a divorce problem, they're not going to give you a real estate attorney. They're going to give you a tax attorney or a family law attorney. And you're going to have access to that attorney for unlimited consultation all day long, every day of the week. You'll never get a bill. In fact, we jokingly say, even if you're just legally lonely, call your law firm. Now, I'm going to very quickly go over all the benefits, but I'm going to spend a couple of minutes with this one. This is the one my wife and I have used more than anything. Imagine having demand letters written on your behalf on an unlimited number of subjects. Now, when I'm treated unfairly, I'm pretty articulate and I can write a pretty good letter. But when someone gets a letter from me on my Garfield stationery, it doesn't get a lot of attention. But when someone gets a letter from you or from your provider law firm, Parker Stanberry, it doesn't say LegalShield on it. In fact, it's got 54 partner names across the top of the letterhead. It's pretty intimidating. In fact, whoever gets these letters has no idea that you didn't even have to pay for the stamp that went on the envelope. All of these benefits I'm talking about are available to you on an unlimited basis with no copayment. It's all included in your 50 cents a day membership. In this instance, I had a problem with a Rubbermaid company. They had manufactured a product that damaged my computer, and they weren't willing to take responsibility for it. So I had my law firm write them a letter. Within a week, I got a check from their insurance company, Travelers Insurance, for $2,200. That one letter alone paid for my membership for more than 10 years. And again, I didn't even have to pay for the stamp that went on the envelope. A few years ago, we had discovered we'd overpaid on some property taxes, called the LA County Tax Collector's Office, and they agreed with us that we had overpaid, but because we didn't bring it to their attention within a certain period of time, we lost our right to a refund. In other words, they said, it's your money, but on a technicality, we're going to keep it. Had my law firm write a letter to the LA County Tax Collector's Office, and within a couple of weeks, we had a check for $3,900. That letter paid for our membership for more than a lifetime. Now, those are big things, and big things will happen, hopefully not too often. But don't little frustrations creep into our lives all the time that cause us irritation and money? Jiffy Lube once replaced the oil in our car, but forgot to put the filler cap back on, and it caused oil to squirt all over our engine and caused damage to the tune of about $150. And the owner of that Jiffy Lube franchise refused to take responsibility for it. You might think it was only $150, but it was the principal, plus it was my $150. Had my law firm write a letter, and within a day, the owner of that franchise was calling me, begging me to come by and pick up a check. You can use this on an unlimited number of frustrations. They'll also make phone calls on your behalf. Sometimes things have to happen faster than a letter. When I call a company, I get transferred to customer service. But when Parker Stanberry calls a company, they get transferred to the legal department, and they always get what we can't get on our own. They'll also review unlimited contracts and documents. Unlimited contracts and documents up to 15 pages each, but I can't think of any document longer than 15 pages except one, and that's if you're purchasing your own personal residence. In that case, that's the exception. They'll review those contracts and even prepare loan documents on an unlimited number of pages. Now, some of you might be thinking, gee, I wish I had this last year when my landlord refused to refund my security deposit. Understand that everything on this screen covers pre-existing issues. In other words, when this goes into effect on February 1st or March 1st, or whenever you get the membership, you can be making a list of issues that have irritated you in recent years. And when it goes into effect on that date, you can call your law firm and have as many attorneys as you want, going after as many people as you want in the past. In other words, it becomes a now benefit. Wait, there's more. They'll also give you a tax attorney to assist you with IRS audits. You'll have a trial attorney assisting you, actually going to court, fighting lawsuits if you're ever named as a defendant in a civil suit. And if you've been a member for at least 90 days, you'll have representation for all those uncontested family issues like divorce, separation, adoption, and name change. Traffic ticket representation nationwide. In other words, let's say you're visiting family in Texas or on a vacation in Las Vegas, and you get a ticket while you're there, but now you're back home. You call your law firm, or with the app, you send the ticket directly to your law firm with the app, and within 8 business hours, a traffic attorney will call you back. And as long as it's defensible, they'll send an attorney to court to fight that ticket to help keep the points off your record and the fines down, and you don't even have to pay for their parking. They'll also represent you for major traffic accidents involving vehicular homicide or manslaughter. Now, there are some exclusions in this, and it's very simple. As long as you weren't driving under the influence, you weren't driving a stolen vehicle, or weren't driving with a suspended license, your legal defense will be free no matter how long it takes. And by the way, every member of your family is included. So if you drive like a teenager or you have teenagers in your family, this becomes a no-brainer. Now, again, this is a month-to-month membership. We don't have to tie you to a 1 or a 2-year contract. We know that if we can get you using the membership, you'll come to the realization that it's saving you more than what it's costing, and you'll become a member for life. And yet, even in your very first month, your law firm will prepare for you a personalized, comprehensive will with a living health directive, a durable power of attorney, a financial power of attorney, junior trust for your children with unlimited estate planning. That's $1,000 value right there per will, and every member of your family gets one. You'll also get 24/7 emergency access to attorneys. Let's say it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're in a car accident, the police are questioning you. Well, you can't wait till Monday to get an attorney. You need one right then to make sure you're not accidentally admitting guilt. Well, you tap the red button on your app, and you'll be connected not to a paralegal, not to a law clerk, but a seasoned, experienced attorney who will give you assistance right there. Now, everything I've mentioned so far is with no additional copayment. Anything I haven't mentioned, well, it's still covered, but then it falls under the 25% preferred member discount. Think of LegalShield as a shield, not a sword. In other words, it's not for bad people to do bad things. But let's say you use poor judgment and you have a few too many beers and you get pulled over for driving under the influence. Well, we don't give you a free attorney for that, but you'll get a legitimate 25% discount. So if the attorney assigned to the case is his normal rate is $400 an hour, that's going to be $100 per hour savings on a membership that's costing you about 50 cents a day. Now, one membership fee covers you, your spouse or domestic partner, and all of your children up to the age of 26, and physically and mentally disabled children are covered for life. In other words, one membership covers the entire family. Now, if you were to find a cheap attorney, you might be paying $250 an hour, yet we're going to provide all of these services, most of them are on an unlimited basis, for only $11.06 per paycheck. In other words, it's being deducted right from your paycheck, about $11.06. When people see that, they go, that's too cheap. It sounds too good to be true. Are these guys any good? If you were doing a search on Consumer Affairs for legal services, LegalShield would be the first membership that would come up. We're the largest provider of legal services, and we've got a 5-star rating with Consumer Affairs. Now I'm going to transfer over to our identity theft product, not to be confused with credit monitoring like LifeLock and Experian and Equifax and all those other quote unquote identity theft protection programs. See, those are really just credit monitoring programs. Let me explain what I mean. If someone were to change your address at the post office and file a tax return in your name and have your refund sent to them, that's not going to show up in a credit report. You won't even know about it if you had LifeLock. If someone were working in a 1099 job using your social security number, and of course they weren't taking out taxes, and you're incurring an IRS liability for money you didn't earn, again, that's not going to show up in a credit report. If someone's committing crimes with fake ID using your information, that's not going to show up in a credit report. We're going to monitor all areas of identity theft. We're going to protect you beyond just financial identity theft, because we're going to monitor your social security number, your passport, your driver's license, your address at the post office, all your email addresses, your loans and credit cards, all your social media, the black market websites. But more importantly, with all those other services, if you were notified of being a victim of credit fraud, you'd be given a 1-800 number where you're calling someone in another country and they're just giving you advice. With us, you're going to be connected to a licensed private investigator who will do whatever it takes, work as long as it takes to restore your identity to its pre-theft status, all included at no extra charge. And the identity theft protection for the entire family is only $8.75 per pay period. We're actually cheaper than LifeLock. We do more, and we do restoration. And if you've never been married and don't have kids, it's only $4.13. Most of the time, people recognize the need for getting both. bundling the legal protection with identity theft. Well, when you get them both, it's discounted even more. In other words, the family legal plan with the Family ID Shield is only $17.96. And if you've never been married and don't have kids, it's $15.19. When people hear about this, most people will say, this is a no-brainer, sign me up. But every once in a while, someone will say, I don't know, 15 bucks. I can go to Starbucks, 6 times a month and get a latte, and I don't want to give up my latte. We didn't want this to be a financial decision. So we threw in member perks. In other words, how'd you like to receive substantial discounts? It's kind of like AAA discounts on steroids, but it's not just hotels and car rental agencies. It's almost everywhere you're spending money anyway. All of the cell phone providers are in this program now, all of the cable TV providers. I mean, you don't get a AAA discount when you shop at the Apple Store. Now you will. If you were to go to the movies just once a month with your family, but get the movie theater tickets from your app instead of at the box office, number one, it's going to be more convenient. But number two, you'll end up saving more money than what's coming out of your paycheck for the legal and identity theft protection. So when you need that legal services or the identity theft protection, it's really cost you nothing. You've already saved more than what it's costing. So if this is something you want to sign up for, first of all, you're going to want to get an application by sending me an email to hassan@legalshieldassociate.com. And once I receive your request, I'll send you an application. It's a 2-page application. You fill it out, and at the very top, you just bubble in where you fit in. In other words, if you want the legal plan with the family identity theft protection, it's $17.96. If you want the legal plan with the individual ID Shield, it's $15.19 per pay period. If you want the legal plan all by itself, it's only $11.06. And if you want the family ID Shield all by itself, it's $8.75, or the individual ID Shield is $14.13. Just bubble in where you fit in, fill out the application, and then email it back to me at hassan@legalshieldassociate.com, and you'll be protected the beginning of the following month. Thanks for your time, and we wish you luck. Take care.